Good. Fire away. Okay. See you later.
Coach, just mood-wise, what are you getting from your guys right now? I know it's a tough spot.
Yeah, I mean they're down. I mean we watched the tape on Tuesday, and everybody's disappointed. But I mean this is the NFL football. You got to come back and you got to get ready for the next one. There's always another game. Until you retire, that's the way it rolls.
Looks like it's going to be chilly, maybe as cold as you guys have had it all year.
Yeah, I just got done looking at it.
Yeah.
I just got done looking at it. It said 19, but then it feels like 25. That's kind of weird. But I guess it's going to be sunny out. I guess I don't know. That's the first time I've ever seen that. So that means the wind. I guess the wind's going to be not bad. So that's a good sign, for us. I mean, wind is the hardest thing. Cold, everybody's affected by it. The ball flight, it doesn't fly as far and stuff like that. But the wind is the biggest factor, and it seems like it's not going to be windy. So.
What was your breakdown of the missed try?
Missed it, pushed it right. There's nothing really. I mean, nothing really else can be said about it. I mean, it's a bad miss because it's right before that. It's an uplifting thing. It could be uplifting or it could be what it was. And unfortunately, that's what happened.
Knowles had another tackle for you. How has he been on special?
Knowles is playing great. Rookie, very productive, hard to block. Draws penalties. I mean, he drew a penalty on the kickoff too as well. So, I mean, we get the tackle on the 25, and then now we're on the 10. So I mean, all that stuff helps. Just the effort is outstanding. He's a good player.
What do you think of your returns without Nico?
The kick returns were good. The punt return, we had a lot of chance. Our defense played great. I mean, they made him punt 8 times in that game, and and Tommy had a good game too himself. Hung the ball pretty well, but there was a couple times there where we might have been able to get something. But I mean, we got a punt returner in there that it's first time in an NFL game, and he got us through the game, with the fair catches. He'd probably need more work to get more confidence to be able to time it up and see that the coverage was good. Blocking was good, so he can get it fielded. But Nico's coming back, so I mean, Nico's going to go right back in there again. So,
on a game like that, do you explicitly tell Xavier, "Hey, just fair catch it"?
No, that's not what we say. I mean, I told him that he might get a ball, because Tommy can bomb it, and we want you to return it, if you get a chance, but it's hard. But it's a hard thing. I mean, playing punt returner is tough, and then he's never done it in an NFL game. Had plenty of experience in college, but he got us through that game with no major blunders.
Couple more.
Dave, how has this been personally for you? A year ago at this time, you guys are 12-1. Special teams had a big impact on that. And this year, you guys are 6-7. It's totally on the other
Does that mean we're shitty? Is that what's going on? No, that's not. No. Well, I mean, you guys know I'm going to say what I think, unfortunately, but we're not as good. We're not making as many plays as we did last year at critical times, on special teams. That's kind of frustrating, but I'm happy with our young players, the way they're developed, and guys like Knowles and Cooper, and I mean those guys and Bossa are doing great, and they're improving every day, and that's all I keep talking about is get better every day, and the plays will come. We just got to keep the effort up, and that's don't get discouraged. Just keep playing hard, and good things are going to happen. I mean, they have to believe. They have to keep believing. That's all I can say.
Dave, when you say not making plays at critical times, obviously that does stand out. But
Yeah.
Can you put your finger on? Is that one of the things you kind of drive yourself crazy thinking?
Yeah, I mean, you do everything you can in preparation, and the guys are they're playing hard, and it's just not happening. The blocks. I mean, our field goal block team. I mean, this is the best percentage I've ever seen of an opponent on our field goal block. That's a perfect example. That effort that we give on field goal block is unbelievable. I mean, you don't see that in the league, and yet teams are like 95% on field goals against us. I mean, it's kind of year it's been. I mean, Friday we come into Friday and Nico gets hurt on Friday. Last week our punt returner. So I mean, it's just a weird year. We're just going to keep pounding it, and keep the guys encouraged and get some wins down the stretch here. I mean, that's what we need.
I mean, does it kind of feel like just a little bit snake bit? Like last year, double doink field goes through. This year, Harrison hits the upright, shoots right back.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
that's
no real rhyme or reason.
football
right?
gods, you know, I mean, that's where the luck comes in, obviously, but you got to, you know, you got to practice and make your luck too, you know, at the same time. I mean, you can't depend on a ball doinking off the upright. I mean, you got to be more accurate than that.
Last one, Pete.
Just kind of referencing your response to Jesse, how important is it to keep it kind of light as a team and just try to attack each game and sort of just see how the cards
Yeah,
play?
I have a saying. It says make plays. You know, now I have a saying that says have fun making plays. So I mean that's our motto going down the stretch. You know, we're going to make plays. We know we're going to make them. Just have fun.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Morning, afternoon. I hit them both. Good to see everybody. I don't have a lot to say. I mean, we're a little disappointed in what happened last week. But the one thing about this league, you wake up on Wednesday when the guys come in and you go back to work. It's an NFL Wednesday, and I thought our guys worked really good yesterday and anticipate that happening today as well. With that, I'll open it up.
What did you put in the orange slices at halftime there to make the team?
The orange. I don't know where they eating oranges. Listen, I told the guys on Tuesday, I was really proud of how hard they fought and played. I mean, it was unfortunate that, you know, we needed to find a way to make that one drive a 3-point instead of 4, and we didn't do that, so that we were disappointed in that. But I told them, I said, look, these other teams can have all the rankings and stats, but I'll take what our guys give and have every week and the way they fight and how hard they fight, no matter what. I mean, they just go out there and do their job and do it at a high level. So I was really proud of them. I just wish we could have found a way to make 1 or 2 more plays and keep the score down a little bit.
What do you think about the Chris's there?
In the day, I think he's kind of. It feels like he's kind of been on that trajectory, Sam, for a little bit the past few weeks. And I think I said this to you guys before. I love the way he's practicing. He's in tune. He was different. Something happened. Maybe he had some of those oranges back 3 or 4 weeks ago. But I think it's showing up in his play on Sundays.
First game against LA, no tape, came out throwing. It felt like he
Yeah.
caught a little bit. What have you learned from that? And then since then, watching them throughout the
A
year.
great point. We thought, really, I remember going into that game thinking, hey, they'll try to control the football with the run game, and boom, they came out. And I think that first drive, they might have run it twice. There was a couple in the red zone. I mean, we'll see. Listen, they do both really effectively. They got the running back who was hurt. They believe in running the football, so I don't think we can ever discount that they're not going to just line up and do what they do running the football. But certainly the quarterback is an issue, both with his arm and with his feet. I think he's playing outstanding. He refuses to get, he got sacked, I know, a couple times in this last game, but he refuses to go down in certain situations, and he just fights tooth and nail and finds a way to will his team to wins, and that's what he's been doing. It's pretty impressive.
Steve, what surprised you most from where you thought this season may go to what the reality is?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody thought we'd be sitting here in December with 7 losses, but that is reality. And until somebody says you're all done playing, we just come in here and work every week. I thought Andy had a great message this morning, to the guy, basically that, let's go to work. That's what we do, and our guys do that, which is a good thing.
How does the Chargers offense that has that relentlessness and that toughness and that mentality, how do you match that?
Well, we got to play the way we did, in that stretch, like we did in the last game. I felt our guys did that same thing in the Colts game. I mean, we've had, it's been one of those years where, we've played really, really well, and then there's a couple of things here or there, a playoff, and it makes all the difference in the game from the defensive perspective. They're on a roll right now, the Chargers, so we certainly got to match that. I mean, the energy in Arrowhead will help us, and I think our guys are professionals, and they'll go out there and give everything they got.
Both sides of the ball, you guys lost. I mean, you lost a tackle on offense, right? But you lost the corner.
Yeah.
How much of the call sheet goes away when a player of that significance comes off the field, or does none of it? Is it still the same
No, it's a great point. Listen, so I was fully aware of it when it happened, and I'm asking constantly, is Trent coming back? Is he coming back? I think he tried. Yeah, there are things that we do based on where 22 is and where we put him. So some of that went away, but for the most part, we stuck to the plan only because I felt we couldn't venture too far from it. What we decided to do against that particular opponent, and we'll see where we're at with Trent this week. But that. I will say this: the guys that went out, that Jalen did a nice job, and Noel, for not getting reps during the week, right? Went in there and did admirable, and hopefully, if those guys got to play again this week, hopefully they can step it up and be effective.
Different types of pass catchers between the trio of wide receivers and the tight end that
Yeah.
going on. I guess how difficult is it just considering the personnel matching?
Yeah, I mean, I think the quarterback makes them all good. And what one might be lacking in speed, the other makes up for quickness. I mean, you're right. Not until you said that, they're all different challenges, And so our corners, or our nickels, when they line up against a certain guy, they would have, and they do it. They study what each guy likes to do. I mean, we know certain ones are wiggle guys, certain ones go like that. They got them all. And a crafty vet, too, who's really good. I mean, he's playing really good, I think, Keenan.
Can you evaluate where Jade thinks his development?
Yeah, I mean, Jade, I think if you ask Jaden, he'd tell you he's kind of had an up and down season, but there's been flashes of good football play there, and we're gonna need him now. We get down the stretch here. Mike Edwards is kind of, as a crafty vet, is filled in there, but yeah, Jaden. Listen, I've brought him in a couple of times, and he's made some mistakes that I wouldn't have thought he would have made in his second season, but I like the way he gets himself ready for games, and hopefully we get some good play out of him.
Down, what did Jalen Watson show you in maybe having to be the guy in that?
Yeah, so listen, what I really liked about that was I think he either went to Dave or me, I can't remember in the middle of the game, but he wanted to then travel with what Trent was doing with number 12, and without batting an eyelash, that's what some guys might kind of hide, don't put me over there, but he wanted it, and I thought he did a pretty good job of it too.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, you got it. Thanks, guys.
All right, good. Go ahead.
Just big picture, how would you evaluate where the offense is just right now?
Yeah, it's stating the obvious, not what we've wanted the last couple of weeks. It's we all are. I think you get into these moments, and you go back to the middle of the season, we were really hitting at all cylinders. Guys felt really good, and for whatever reason, the last couple of weeks, there's been the same thing that's been going on with some of the whether it's just the execution, the play call. There's just everybody all together, and I think that's where when you come into this deal, we got to make sure that these moments aren't easy. It's something where when you go through these times, it talks about adversity or it reveals character, and I think that's very important to understand as we go through this. It can show where people are and how you're going to battle through this. Are you going to start with yourself? And we do that. In the end, we got to win the game. In the end, we got to play better on offense. In the end, we got to coach better. So all of us know that. We understand that. And then we also have guaranteed 4 more games. And I think the mindset for us is, as we came into this thing at the beginning of the week, is let's look back at what we didn't do well. And let's make sure that we understand we all have a job to start with ourselves to get better with that. And then you got to do it. We've been saying it, but it hasn't been getting done. So the leaders that we have in the room, the players that we have, we believe in all of them. And it's our job against another really good, for us offensively, a great defense. It's a big challenge, but it's time to do it. And I think these guys care. You saw it after the game. These guys it has nothing to do with lack of effort. It has nothing to do with not caring. These guys want it. This is new territory for us. So it's how do we handle this new territory?
Where are you at in terms of little tweaks can get you there, as opposed to sweeping changes this late in the season?
Yeah, the sweeping changes aren't going to do anything for us. We know what we have. That's who we are, and we believe in what we're doing. There's been moments where we have not. You look at those 4th down plays the other day, right? You can't sleep for 2 days because you're so you're in a position like that. When coach, when we go for it, we have a ton of. We've been successful this year on a lot of those. So it's easy to go back and say, well, you shouldn't have gone for it after you don't make it. Understand that. That's a part of criticism. But when we have the decision to go for it, we want to execute it. We want to make it in that moment in time. That's a big play. Thank goodness the defense was awesome, and they got the ball back for us there at the end. You're down 7, backed up. You got to go down and score. That's to me like that part of the game. All that said, we didn't get it on the second one. Get the ball back, go down and win the game, or at least tie it, go to overtime. That's the part that we haven't been doing. And so, for people that have been through these moments, it's easy to start trying to change things up. It's easy to try to search to do something different. In the end, you got to believe in each other. You got to trust in each other. You got to dig down a little bit. It's not easy, but that's the only choice we have. And when you have good character people, that you can pull through these moments.
Now, what went into the 4th down, just the play call itself, not the decision to go?
Which one?
The 4th and 1.
4th and 1. Yeah, that's a play that over the last 10 years, when you pick and choose your times, because you can't do it all the time, it's been very successful for us. We ran it a little bit different of a way of how we did it, and to credit to them, man, they did a good job on defense. They passed some things off, and they made a good play. And so, they ended up getting the touchdown after that, which made it a 7-point game. But you always, 4th and 1, you want to be able to get, whether it's a run or a pass. Whether it's a run or a pass, and I know we've been successful with the run game. I understand that. But that play over the many years here in this Chiefs place, it's been really good. So it didn't work.
When you say that you guys as coaches have to do better, what are the first things that come to your mind as to why you want to say that?
You want to, like that, his question he just had with the play call, right? The play design. You look back and you love for the guy to be wide open. And then as a coach, you're like, you know what? That was awesome, man. They were wide open and the play worked. When the play doesn't work, the first thing you do is you say, was it the right play design? That's the first thing you got to say. So stuff like that. Moments in the game, you want to make sure if a play's not working, why isn't it? Are you adjusting the right way? So that's where you have to start. And then sometimes, you know, like Rasheed on the last 4th down, he did a hell of a job. I know he dropped the ball, but the part, you know, he did a hell of a job within the concept of seeing there's a defender there and kind of aborting his route to get open. And Rasheed's a guy that once he catches the ball, he tries to get north and south better than anybody in the league. He was trying to do that, and, you know, he dropped the ball. So the players at times, sometimes they'll make a play when the play design isn't great or perfect. That was one of those deals, but I think we start with ourselves and say, you know, how do we put them in the best position possible? Protection, route, run game, tendency breakers, all that stuff matters. And we take a lot of pride in that. And so when it doesn't work, it's always on us as coaches before the players. And then we go into the execution part, like why didn't it work? Are we making the same mental errors? And if we are, why is that happening? And I think, like, for me, it's my job as the offensive coordinator to make sure that these guys, that we're putting them in a good spot, but then they're doing it. And if it can't keep happening. So when you get to that moment, how do you fix that? And you know, because when we don't do that, we're pretty good. We gotta not do it.
We're gonna go a couple more, Seren and then Nick.
But you said earlier, you know, you believe in your guys.
Yeah.
Right. So you believe in 53 guys, but only 11 walk out on the field, right? So you have to decide which guys go. You know, how do you know? Esapoli played really well. I mean, looking at it, the value of hindsight, like, oh, geez, how did that guy ever get out there? You know, is there, you know, Hunter Norzad has graded well when he's had a chance to play a little bit. You know, where are you on believing on some of those guys, and have there maybe been some mistakes made as far as which guys have gotten the call?
It's a good point. That, I mean, shoot, think of some of the. I mean, you think of when an injury happens, or you think of Tom Brady and just how that kind of happened at that point in time. That's a much different example, but your point is valid. That sometimes guys get an opportunity that maybe they wouldn't have gotten for whatever reason. And when a guy like Essa steps up and does what he did in that moment after the very first play, cannot begin to say how proud I am of him, of now what he did. And that's great for him. That's great for us. That's important. You're not always going to be spot on with your evaluations until sometimes guys get real chances. He got a real chance. And now for him, you know, what's he going to do with it? And he does have a game on tape now, and that's one example.
Just as a follow-up.
Yeah.
Is when that happens, I mean, is it a reminder that, you know, sometimes we got to make sure we build the offense around the skills that we have, that maybe you're looking to play your offense, and so you left a talented player on the side, and maybe you need to tweak it towards the individual skills? Yeah, you always you need to go around your players' strengths, and I think like with Essa as a tackle, you know, just being able to see him go up against those two really good defensive ends is a challenge. The other part of your question with the type of positional value or how a guy's strength is with the running back, wide receiver, tight end, you have to be able to take your offense and use their strengths and what that is. And you know, we have a lot of different guys that are very talented on this team, on this offense, and it's being able to make sure that we're putting them in the right spot so they can excel with their strengths. And then whatever their weaknesses are, we got to stay away from that stuff and help them develop in the off season. But without a doubt, you need to do that, and that's important, and that's something that's our job as coaches.
Last one, Nick.
Matt, what you envision this offense being from training camp versus what the reality is now, what surprised you the most?
Yeah, just the consistent penalties, the not being consistent is probably the easiest way to say it. I mean, we know what we can do when we're really clicking. What we need to do is we need to really click more often. When things are going well, we're out there, and it's like you think back to in the game, the second quarter. I think it was the second quarter, or in the game where we had the sack for 11 yards, and you know, Hollywood and Ty were running down the middle, and we thought it was maybe an offsides. It wasn't. It's a big sack. That's a big time. You know, that's a big play in that moment. That's the kind of stuff that they're happening too much, and it's not. It's just all of us together. And I think when you get in this moment right now that we're in, we have 4 games that we need to get better, and then see what happens. You know, and I think that's what's most important through all this.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
tough spot you guys are in right now. What's the approach been? What's the message this week about what you guys have to get done?
We're in a tough spot, absolutely, but I think we still have a chance to get to where we want to get. May take a lot of luck, but also us closing strong for the last 4 games. So we have an opportunity to do something that hasn't been done, a little more challenging than what we're used to, but the door is still open.
Chris, it seems like you've played really, really well since that bye week, and Spags just told us you've been on a nice trajectory. What flipped the switch for you?
I don't think it was more so flipping the switch. It's just, being able to watch film, over the bye week, correct some errors, probably footwork and hand placement for me, and, watch that, correct it, and just continue on throughout the rest of the season.
How much has the Chargers changed in your eyes, Chris, from seeing them in another country compared to the team you're going to play on Sunday?
It's still a resilient team. Got a few injuries. Have much respect for the quarterback. He's tough. He's a tough one. I think he's playing with a broken left hand right now, and still doing it, man. So, I got much respect for those guys. And the head coach. That team goes off the head coach. He's old school. I have so much respect for him and how you go about it.
Is there any motivation just because of the way the season started and how that might be another additional motivation for you?
Absolutely, man. We're in a tough spot right now. An area we're not really familiar with, but we're still competitors at the end of the day. That door is still open. So for me, it's about even being extra motivated that we can make it where we want to go. There's still opportunity there, just from a different standpoint.
Chris, in that third quarter there, whenever you locked in and you basically wrecked their offense for multiple series, how did you tap into that?
I think it was just about making adjustments in the locker room. Coach Spags do a really, really good job of, calling plays for us to execute and put me in a position to, be one-on-one or make a play. So execution was at a high level, last week.
Considering Herbert can get out of the pocket and is good at evading pressure, I guess, how important is finishing in this particular matchup?
I think finishing is always huge. You always want to finish, but just finish efficiently, especially with a guy like him who can hurt us inside or outside the pocket, especially when he's outside the pocket. So, we're going to watch film. We got a couple more days to prepare, and we're going to make sure we come up with something to affect the quarterback.
Last one, Sam.
Chris, that locker room after the game was pretty down. I know you guys expect to want to win games. How have you since you've had 3-4 days now, I guess, since then? What have you seen now? You hear your message, but do you sense that same energy in the room?
Absolutely. I think it's more so wasn't down. It was more so it's like everyone felt like they could have done something different, something better. It was more so of disappointment within itself. I don't think down because we're all competitors at the end of the day. And even though this is new territory for us, we still have an opportunity. We still got really, really great players on this team, starting with our leaders, Pat, Trav. Listen, we got Pat Mahomes, man. Let's be honest here. We always have a chance. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.